Welcome back to the CDAMP. I'm Manuel Gadi and I'm here for the second round or the second part of every session. So the first part is the first video with some material, and then inside our github.com/manuelgadi and Clariden Global _CDAMP, you can find some CDAMP exercises there to practice. We're gonna resolve the exercises starting now. So the first round is session 1, meeting Python in Anaconda. Of course, I invite you to do it try to do it on your own and come here for the solution when you feel you're ready. The first exercise is open Anaconda Python. So this is Anaconda Navigator. You search it and just hit open Anaconda Navigator here. Once you do that, if it's your first time, I recommend that you upgrade your Python, your Anaconda Python. Once you hit upgrade, it will launch a window. Will take a little bit of a while, and then it will say, oh, the new version is available, launch the new navigator. So if it's your first time, I recommend that you upgrade it. And then you will see this little round circle here, green round circle, loading everything and launching our Jupyter Anaconda Navigator. Second exercise there is start Anaconda Prompt. Anaconda Prompt is what you can see here, the CMD prompt. This, if we launch this launches a console or a terminal if you're using Mac, where you can actually use Python directly here, and you can exit Python from here. The next exercise is to check all the libraries that are installed in your Python. So to do that, I can do pip freeze. Pip freeze will tell me a long list of libraries that I have installed in my Python. And because Anaconda is a Python distribution, it already comes with several libraries pre-installed for us. So being pandas, for example, we'll surely find pandas here somewhere. And here it is, pandas, with its all the details for that library. Very good. So this is the first exercise. We can stick with this console open here because there'll be more exercises. The next exercise is inside Anaconda, go and check the environments. So we're gonna go here to the environments and check all the libraries that are installed. We also have that information for the base root inside Anaconda, all the libraries that are installed here, and I can even search here for pandas and I get the same information, but it even give me the version here, 1.4.4. We have checked all the libraries using Anaconda environments. Now exercise number 5 is create a new environment called CDAMP. So environment is a part, or it's a copy of your Python with some libraries that will be isolated when you use that environment. So if you install one version of a library in one environment, it's gonna be that version in that environment, and maybe in another environment you don't even have that library, or you have a different version. So it's very useful for isolating if you're doing a course in CDAMP and you start doing a course in machine learning, and the libraries may not be the same or may not use the same version, and you don't cause problems when you upgrade things. So you create isolated Pythons on your machine. So how do you go and do that? You visit Anaconda, you go to environments here, and at the bottom you have create, and in name we can put out the name there requested, that is CDAMP. We can choose either Python or R. We're gonna use Python, and we can also choose the version of Python that we want to use. I'm gonna choose the stable one at this moment. They actually always recommend the stable one, 3.10 and 3.11 in the time that I'm recording the video. Is still not the full stable versions of Python. Probably when you're watching the video, maybe that is the recommended already. So I'm gonna pick the recommended one and hit create. That will start to install all the packages that will download. It will make a copy of my Python, my local Python that is in my machine. You don't even need internet to do this because it's not downloading things. It's better that you do, but that's being created right now, and will take a little bit of a few moments. So I'm going to stop the video and get back here when I'm done. In order to see all the packages again in the base environment, I'm just going to say X here, and now I have all the packages. And I want you to see that once your installation is complete, your environment is created. If you click on CDAMP here, it will load the CDAMP environment. Let's wait a second. And you can see here that we have only few libraries pre-installed. Pandas is not even here. So the next exercise that we're gonna do is, launch Anaconda Prompt connected to the CDAMP environment. How do we do that? We go back to here, so I select CDAMP, I return to home, and then I make sure that all applications are on the CDAMP. Because I selected on the environments, it should be, but in case it's not, you select CDAMP here, and then you launch in here not all the things will be installed, and you should have the CMD over here, and it says it's not even installed. So to launch it, you have to install first. We don't have Jupyter, neither Spyder installed in this new environment. So let's install Anaconda Prompt, that is CMD, so that we're able to launch it. Once it's installed, we now can launch it. It's now available here at the top, and I can launch that one, and it's launched, and I have the word here CDAMP. This is not base anymore. This is the installation of Python running in this environment. So if I now go and do pip freeze, this will tell me that I only have those few libraries, certification, and not it doesn't tell me about pip install and all the pip and all the rest. It's a virgin environment with Python with no libraries whatsoever. So I can't even use pandas. Let's see the next exercise. Yeah, we solved that next exercise, that is check all the libraries using Anaconda Prompt. That was with pip freeze. And now it says install pandas in the CDAMP environment. So if I go there to the environment, this is the environment. with the cdmp. Make sure it has this letter here, and then we can run pip install pandas. Pandas, as we saw, pandas in Python is a library that actually depends on other libraries like NumPy, Matplotlib. And for that reason, when I hit enter here, pandas will collect and download. You need internet for this part, of course, and will download pandas library and other libraries as well, NumPy, PyTC, and so on and so forth. What's going on is when we get Anaconda with the base, Anaconda, the company already pre-installed several packages for us, and we don't need to install those packages that are most common for data science. But in any case, sometimes we do want to have different environments to split and to focus on what we're learning, and what we're learning we may break the environment, so we protect what we're doing in it for our company. So now we go for the next exercise, which is create a requirement.txt file with all libraries installed on the cdmp environment. For that, we need to go back here in our environment, cdamp, I can see here, and we do our little pip freeze. Pip freeze now will tell us that pandas and the dependencies are already installed. And how do we create this requirement.txt? We say greater sign requirements.txt, and if I do that, now I should find a file called requirements.txt inside my user. So let's quick go there in my computer, users and manual, and requirement.txt is in here, and I can see that file. This is useful for remembering, or sometimes for the recreation of an environment. Let's say you want to recreate an environment that replicates this one. This is your important one, and in the future your computer crashes and you have saved this requirement. You can go and install that requirement and recreate that environment. Our next exercise is launch Python at Anaconda Prompt and import pandas library. Let's do that. Let's go back to our cdmp here, and we can launch Python. It will tell us Python 3.9.15. This is the one we choose for this environment, so it's completely correct. And now I can say import pandas. Remember, we normally do import pandas as PD, and now pandas will be imported. If I don't get any error here, it means that pandas is available here. I can get out, exit Python this way, exit open and close parentheses. Otherwise it gets blocked if you try to close it, and then you can see exit to close the window, the console, the terminal window if you're in Mac computers. Let's, just for the sake of understanding what happened, if I now go to environments, I will see here, if I refresh update index, it also tells me here that I have several new libraries. For example, pandas, NumPy, and all the rest. They are merged here with other things that appeared in this original one. So this environment is operational. Next, the next exercise that we have here says create a new environment called CDMP restore, launch Anaconda Prompt, and install all libraries that were present in the original CDMP. So remember, we have requirement.txt, we saved that, and now we can restore in case this crashes, if my computer crashes. So let's go and do. For this, I will quit Anaconda Navigator just so that you remember all the steps. So it's Anaconda Navigator. What do you open? You wait until Anaconda Navigator launch. Next step is we go to environments, and in environments we hit create. We have a name here, so we go to environments, we hit create. The name requested was CDAMP restore. So I'm gonna put this name again. Let it be 3915. Create. We wait until it's created. Next step, if you remember, we need to even install Anaconda Prompt, the CMD. So, but we need to wait the copy of my Python to be created here inside this CDAMP restore environment. Once it's created, make sure you click on it so it's loaded, and then we can go to home, and we need to install the CMD. We are restoring everything, so we are installing the CMD here. In my case, it requested my authorization on my whole computer. And now that is installed, I can launch this. And because my requirements is right here, right there in my computer, if I'm using Mac, I would do ls. Because I'm using Windows, I am using dir to see what is in the directory, and I can find requirements here. Remember, if I do pip freeze, it will tell me that not much is installed in my current environment called CDAMP restore. However, if I do pip install, I could say a library here like pandas, but technically speaking, there will be several libraries there inside my requirements. I could even save the whole base requirements for that environment of Anaconda. So what we need to do is put pip install requirements.txt and hit enter, and that will install the whole all the libraries that are inside my requirement.txt. So I'm gonna close here and go back to the exercises. And the next exercise that we're gonna do is the create install Jupyter inside CDAMP, and then installed in Spyder inside CDAMP. So let's go back there. Let's choose the environment, that is CDAMP. We go back here home, and we make sure we choose the CDAMP at the top, and then we hit install both Spyder and Jupyter Notebook. My Spyder is being installed here. It's taking a few minutes, but ideally you'll just hit install here, and then you have it ready to go. So thank you very much. This is Manuel Gadi, and this is the CDAMP meeting Python with Anaconda.